It's me, Harley. I know it's been a while since I've been on YouTube. Um, Honey, can you make sure you can hear my voice in my stream, please?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Thank you. Okay, we good. You can hear my voice. Yay. Okay, so I decided I was going to play some Save the World because why not? I know I said I was going to retire Fortnite content, but I really wanted to play Save the World. And we have a few things to chat about. So, first of all, let's look at the quest log because there's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Save the World right now. Event Hunt the Titan, which that's been in the game for a minute. It just hasn't gone anywhere. Event Hit the Road, Escort Crackshot Part 2. The event Fortnite Birthday Celebration, which you get birthday llama tokens. Now, what I'm wondering about these birthday llama tokens is if it gives you the chance to get the birthday Ramirez Save the World's hero. Because if it does, I'm like ecstatic. Because if I can get her, I'll be so happy. And then event Tales of Beyond. And then event Beyond the Stellar Horizon. Unfortunately, there was the event for Dennis for his quest line, and I didn't get to finish it. I missed it. So, a little upset about that. Let me go to my locker so I can change to my hero. Because, you know, I like to use my Save the World heroes instead of just a Fortnite skin. Because a lot of these Save the World heroes were actually Save the World heroes before they became Fortnite skins. So I think I have to hold on. I gotta Constructor and Outlander. Okay, so I cannot be Lynx because she's a ninja. She's a soldier. Isn't Calamity Outlander? No, she's a soldier. Oh, okay. I can be Gumshoe. She's an Outlander. But I'm gonna take her back bling off because it's humongous. I don't like big back blings. Why do I got that pickaxe set? Hold on. Let me find my Save the World pickaxes. Because I know I got a few of them. Yeah, I got that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Which one do I want to use the blue one. That works. Okay, so let's get into what I want to talk about. So, if you guys didn't know, I'm on a mental health and physical health journey trying to better myself, better my life. Because right now, you know, it's not very great. My health is not good. Constantly feeling sick. And then to add on to it, not feeling too good on the depression side. What do I gotta do? Harvest air conditioner units to collect their parts. That would probably be best to be done in a city zone. I don't know if you could get it done in suburbs. Are you watching my video while I'm sitting in the same room with you? But I'm on your TV and your PlayStation. Oh, but I could hear myself in the background. It's a little distracting. Thank you, honey. I guess I'll go to City Zone first and see if that works. And then if that doesn't work, I'll go to a suburb. But I'm probably going to go to Stonewood, even though I'm probably going to be really overpowered and like one-shot the zombies or husk. But it'll make it easier to get this stuff done. So, for anybody that's new to my channel, I play a lot of different games. I love to explore different games. Now, to give a little background, I normally only play PvE games. I grew up on playing PvE games. I didn't start playing PvP games until I met my husband. And the first one I ever played was, of course, Fortnite. And then I went from Fortnite to For Honor. I tried Call of Duty. Hated it. I accidentally almost shot my own teammate. The last time I tried to play. If I do play COD, I play Zombies or Story Mode. If the COD game has Story Mode. Because not all of them do. Hello, chicken.
Stay cool, don't die, kill clouds. Bonus challenge is now available.
And then, you know, I started playing For Honor. I also played Narnica Blade Point, which they have a PvE mode plus PvP. My gun wrap does not match. That's gonna irk me. Ow. Bees. So, you know, growing up, I normally played, like, Guitar Hero, Final Fantasy, Rock Band, stuff like that. A lot of, like, anime-based games. And then, you know, I met my husband and I started playing other PvE games like Resident Evil and Tom Clancy. What's some other games, babe? I can't think. PvE based games. You having a brain fart? Llama. So, you know, with meeting my husband, my gaming experiences grew because I started getting into other games. You kind of get the gist of it. But also in that, you know, some of my friends, I'm gonna call them by their internet names. I'm not gonna name drop their real names, but Stoney and Don, which Stoney originally went by Linky. I met him on Google Plus 7 years ago. So I've been friends with this guy for 7 years. We grew to call each other brother and sister for the longest time. He was the one, along with my husband and our friend Don, that wanted me to try For Honor. Now this was back in 2021 that I first tried For Honor. And because, you know, me mainly being a PvE girl and just recently getting into PvP games, my husband and our friend Don thought it wasn't the best idea to throw me in against players right away. They thought, maybe let her go in against AI to get more comfortable with the game, to learn how to play the game, to learn a hero's kit. Then we can try player versus player. Well, you know, Stoney didn't want to hear none of that. He's like, oh no, she'll be fine, she'll be fine. So, against my better judgment, I agreed. And I should have known that it was going to be bad news bears. So, we go into the match, and because, you know, of course, not knowing how to parry, not knowing how to do crushing counters or even bashes. Because the hero I did pick was Warmonger, so she does have bashes. I didn't do so well because I was being ganked beyond recognition, and it was really messing with me. Get that chest first. So, you know, I do what any other person would probably do in that situation that isn't used to a PvP environment, and I rage quit. I get angry, I get pissed off, and I close out of the game and say, I'm never playing this game again. I'm never touching it again. Well, let's say fast forward to last year, and I end up going back to the game. Now, I'm gonna, you know, be honest, it was my husband that said, hey, could you please try to give it another try? This time we'll go in against AI. I'm not gonna force you to go against players, unlike Stony. So, because he actually took the time and let me go against AI until I was comfortable enough to play against players, it really helped me. So, you know, I thought, oh, I'm having major progress in For Honor. So, you know, we were still talking to Stony, we were still talking to Don. Now, mind you, with all this drama between me, my husband, and Stony, Don was never once involved. He stayed out of it. Which, you know, it would have been helpful if he would have been involved so he could, like, mediate and be the guy to be like, look, we need to figure this out so we can all continue to be friends and move on from this situation instead of being mean to one another. You know, you would think that's what someone would do if they really cared about, you know, the friendship. But so I send Stony a clip of me playing a shaman against AI, and this was actually the first clip I sent to him was on Snapchat. And he said, good job, I see you. And, you know, it seemed like he was perfectly fine with me playing against AI at first. So then fast forward and I send, you know, him a message on TikTok. I even made a TikTok because he hadn't been talking to us after the interaction we had on PlayStation, because that day I wasn't in the mood to play against players and I wanted to go against AIs, and he had a problem with it. Don't know why. If you're someone's friend, you shouldn't care about what you're playing as long as you're playing with your friends, but what do I know? So I continue to talk to him on TikTok and was tagging him in clips that I had uploaded, showing him that, hey, I don't just play against AI. I've made improvements in the game and I'm slowly starting to get comfortable going against actual players. And instead of him showing support and being the supportive friend that I thought he was gonna be, he decided to attack my persona, which you guys know my persona is Harley Quinn. My husband's persona is Joker. We've been known as Harley and Joker on this platform for a while. I mean, we didn't start out with that persona, but we end up changing our persona. Our persona was originally Bella and Edward from Twilight. Yeah, I know. We're big dweebs. But I mean, you know, I like fantasy movies and novels like that. I mean, the only thing I don't agree with the fact that they made Edward shiny. I don't think that they should have depicted the vampires like that, because they're not like that. But that's besides the point. So you know, he called me a clown lost in a circus. He called my husband a clown lost in the circus. You know, and I wasn't being rude to him. I wasn't calling him out of his name. So for him to just out of nowhere attack my character for no reason, attack my persona for no reason, just because you're not getting your way, just because you're being a little baby, it made no sense to me. So, you know, fast forward to yesterday, I had given him some time. I gave him some space to cool down, like months of time to cool down, because I didn't want to have another interaction with him so fast. So, in between the time that I gave him space, I had also gone and seen an eye doctor because I knew I needed glasses, because as a child I wore glasses, and because I, you know, was being bullied for wearing glasses, being called everything in the book, like four eyes and bug eyes and all that. As a teenager, I made the worst mistake of my life and decided to stop wearing glasses just because someone was being mean to me. At that time, you know, I was a sensitive little snowflake. I'm not as scared to admit it. But I go to the eye doctor. My husband went with me. And we found out that my vision had gotten severely worse. Didn't it, babe? So, do you remember how many eye drops they dropped in my eyes? Because I can't remember. 2. So, you know, they did the eye drops so they could do the eye exam to see how bad my eyes were. And my eyes were so bad after they put the eye drops in. My eyeballs were just like repeatedly moving back and forth. They wouldn't sit still, so I couldn't focus. I mean, it took us a minute to get it to where I could focus, but when I finally did focus, my vision was horrible. So to answer your question, I'm farsighted, so I can't see far away. I'm thinking there might be a chance that I'm also going colorblind. Might need to, you know, make another appointment with the eye doctor so they can run those colorblindness tests, because I know there's like 4 different types of colorblind. I'm nearsighted? I thought I was farsighted. Oh wait, nearsighted means you can't see far away. Farsighted means you can't see close up. Thank you. Okay. So, I'm nearsighted, sorry, guys. Not farsighted. Oh, it's above my build. So, you know, like I said, in between the time that I gave him the chance to cool down, I went to go see my doctor. I got glasses, and the funny story is, once I got my glasses, I started noticing... Raptor! I started noticing very good changes in my personal life and in my gaming life. Like, my skills improved a lot. And I was thinking, well, maybe now that my skills have improved enough, maybe they'll want to play with me now. Because, like, it got to the point where it was like I was trying to explain away or justify the reason why I was playing against AIs. And then, you know, once I got as good as I am now, being able to, like, parry lights consistently, because I do parry lights more than I do heavies, and For Honor, I was like, maybe they'll want to play with me now. Maybe I won't have to explain away or justify how I got better at the game. You know, you would have thought, you would think, oh, your friends are going to be supportive of you. They're going to be so proud of you. No. No. It did not go that way. Again. So, because I thought I gave him the time and the space to cool down, I sent him a clip of me and For Honor going against players, not bots this time. And I was PK. And we was playing with our other friend that we call a brother. And, you know, I was able to stall a 1v3 until my husband and our brother got there. And that is something that if it was back 2021, that would not have happened for me at all. Not at all. So, you know, his responses were nonchalant, like he didn't give two shits. And, you know, he responded in voice notes. And one of the things that I found interesting that he said was, he said, congratulations, you've moved it up. You can play against players now, but I don't care. Excuse me? Normally if someone doesn't care, they don't give that person that wrote them the time of day. They ignore the person if they don't care. You just saying that you don't care and responding to me shows that you actually care. I mean, unless I'm misreading what he was saying. Because, in my opinion, if someone told me something that I didn't care too much for, I would not say I don't care. I would just ignore it. Especially if you're someone I don't like. I'm really not going to care. And I'm going to ignore it. Then, of course, he brought up the fact that, you know, I'm a clown lost in a circus. Now, I'll admit, I'm gonna move out the way so I don't get boo-boos, that I was toxic back. I did call him a furry because his picture, his persona is a fox, which his persona has not always been a fox either. Like I said, he started out with the name Link, and then went from Link to the Stony Fox. So I was like, why are you bringing this up again? Like, I didn't even say anything about that. I was just trying to show you how I improved in the hopes of us being able to talk and squash the situation and continue our 7-year plus friendship, and hoping that you were going to be supportive. But again, I didn't get that. So, you know, it's like, I don't understand. I don't know what else I can do. But at this point, I'm tired. Like, I'm tired of having to justify why I play against AIs and why I play against players as well. Like, I use the AIs as a way to warm up and to practice. Especially, like, if there's a new hero coming to the game, like with the recent one. Bertusa, I think that's how you say her name. Like, when I get her, because I don't got the hero yet. I'll probably have it by tonight. But I'm not going to go in against players with her right away. I'm going to go practice against AIs. You can, like, if my husband, you can hear my husband in the background probably. But if you was to ask my husband right now, when they brought Sohei to the game, I didn't go against players with Sohei right away. Neither did he. Did we? We practiced against AIs first. And especially with the fact when they first released him, his damage was kind of duke. I mean, it's improved somewhat. It's gotten a little bit better. But, you know, with Sohei, you can't brain dead him. You have to literally think about what you're going to do. You got to think about okay, how am I going to go about getting my souls? How am I going to go about guard breaking them and not looking like I'm trying to over guard break them and, you know. But, like, seriously, playing against the AIs and practicing against them took me from eating every single thing that the AI threw at me to parrying and actually sitting there and making reads and making appropriate reads. And, you know, now I'm going to be honest. I've tried doing that against players, and sometimes it's nearly impossible because, you know, For Honor skill-based matchmaking kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. Like, when me and my husband play, we're always getting put with players that are at a lower skill level to us. Not saying, you know, they suck or anything. I'm just saying you get placed against players that haven't been playing the game very long. And if you play For Honor, you know how the new players play. They continuously swing and don't stop. And a lot of times they spam a bunch of lights because they know lights are the hardest thing to parry in For Honor. So they're going to take advantage of that and throw a bunch of lights at you. You know, until they throw lights at the wrong person and then they parry them and they're like, oh shit. the wrong person being me. Like, you know, and then he said in one of his voice notes that, you know, you're a little late to the game because me and Don don't play For Honor anymore. He's like, it's not that we suck at the game, it's just, you know, we're good at the game to the point where it's boring. I'm thinking in my head, what? I was like, how in the right mind does that make any freaking sense? Like, the game would be boring and miserable to you if you didn't know how to play the game. Like, the same thing goes for Fortnite. If you're playing BR and you're new to the game and you don't know how to play, you don't know the mechanics of the game, yeah, it's going to be miserable. It's going to be boring because you're learning the game while there's other people that already know how to play the game. Like, I felt that. I've been there. Like, when I first started playing Fortnite, there was no zero build. There was only build mode, and I had no concept of how to build. So imagine me, a new player coming into Fortnite, trying to learn how to build while everybody else already knew how to build. Everybody was already there. Like, and not to mention, I'm gonna admit it, I know for a fact that I built slow as hell. So that's why I'm glad that they put zero build in the game, because I need zero build. But like I said, the same goes for Honor. If you're new to the game and you don't know how to parry or how to crushing counter or to bash or to guard break, I mean, guard break is kind of basic information, but I'm just throwing that out there. And you don't know how to deflect or punish, especially if, you know, the person you're fighting is doing a lot of dashing. You want to know how to be able to punish them when they're doing that a lot. But if you don't know how to do any of those things, and you're going against players that are like high level, like they're at a higher skill level than you, because like I said, For Honor's skill-based matchmaking is, but, then yeah, you're not gonna have fun. You're gonna be miserable. Until you actually learn how to play the game. And that's why I said, when he said that they're so good at the game that it's boring to them now. But wouldn't that mean if you're that good at the game, your lobbies would be easy for you? Meaning you would have more fun because you already know how to play the game. Because, I mean, I know that when I first started playing For Honor, the second time when I came back, when my husband suggested going against AI and learning the mechanics of the game, because, you know, the mechanics of For Honor are completely different than Fortnite. Because Fortnite, there's very little to no melee in this game unless you're playing Save the World. But as far as melee against players, the only time we actually get, like, melee weapons is if there's some kind of collaboration. Like, example, with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We had all those. Melee mythics. So, you know, going in and against the AI and For Honor, after I got the game down and I knew how to do things, the game was more fun for me because I wasn't getting dookied on every 5 seconds. I mean, I still sometimes go up against someone that's better at the game than me, but that doesn't mean, you know, I'm bad at the game. It just means that there's someone better at the game than me. Like, in every game that you play, there's always going to be someone that's better at the game than you. Like, period. I know it's sometimes a hard pill to swallow, but that's how the world works. How did these break? I wasn't even... Okay, Fortnite physics is hurting my head now. So, let me get to the point because I'm just rambling on about other things. That's why I chose to do a live stream instead of making an actual video, because that video would be forever long. So I was like, you know what? I might as well just make a live stream and just talk about everything. I lost my train of thought. Damn it. So, like, because he said what he said in that voice note saying that he's so good at the game that it's boring, that's why I kind of gave him the side eye. I'm like, none of that makes any sense. And, like, he also called me childish and petty. I'm thinking in my head, you... And let me add, yes, I was petty to a certain extent. When he attacked my persona, yes, I attacked his back. But after that, I stopped being petty about the situation. I gave you a whole couple of months to cool down, and then came back to you and talked to you like an adult. Try to have an adult conversation, and then you insulted me again and acted like a dick. But let's also remember that he was the one that acted childish first by being a big crybaby about complaining that I was playing against AI. Like, why are you worried about what I'm playing? It's not hurting you. It's not... It has nothing to do with you. So, after the conversation that me and him had yesterday on Snapchat, and after me trying to handle it properly, privately, this is why I wanted to live stream and have a discussion, because this is the only way that I'm going to be able to move forward and find closure. So, like I said, through this whole entire situation, our other friend, Don, was not involved. He wasn't trying to get involved and mediate and try to help us solve the situation together, because you would think that's what friends would do. So after the conversation ended between me and Stoney, and I decided to cut all ties with him, and I blocked him on Snapchat, which was the last app I needed to block him on, I then found something contradictory to what he called me and my husband. And I found his Instagram, because I didn't know if I had him blocked on everything already, and I wanted to make sure and take extra steps. So I ended up typing in the Stony Fox and nothing popped up. So I went back to his TikTok, because I hadn't blocked him yet, and found his Instagram link on his TikTok. And it led to his Instagram account. You wouldn't guess what his name was on his Instagram account. The Joker 993. But wait a minute. Didn't you just call me and my husband clowns lost in a circus? But then you want to use Joker, which I don't care, because Joker is a canon character. Anybody could use Joker as their persona. But you just called us clowns, yet you're gonna use Joker as a persona. But then everywhere else on your social media, you're known as the Stony Fox, or the Lonely Fox, because he changed it. That to me made no sense. But anyways, I went to go ahead and I blocked his account. So then it came to trying to find his YouTube channel so I could block him as well there. And he hasn't posted on his YouTube channel in 3 years. And I just decided to look through his videos because I wanted to kind of like, I guess, reminisce. Because when we were friends, it wasn't all bad. There was some good. Like, there really was. I mean, I remember we all used to play GTA Online together all the time. We would make GTA videos all the time. He has a video of an edit on his account of him, my husband, and himself, and our other friend that I'm not going to bring into this because she has nothing to do with it. Like, that's not fair. So she's going to remain anonymous. So I'm thinking like, okay. And then I look further in and I see that he still had saved the edits that he made me, that like outros and intros for my channel, which weren't originally for this channel, was for my other one that I deleted a long time ago because I used to do drama content, which was the worst mistake of my life because it put a big hinder on mine and my husband's relationship. And all that drama is not worth losing him. I've been with him for 13 years, not happening. So I went to go look through my channel and I was like, oh, I still have them too. So you're telling me we went from making things for each other, playing games with each other constantly, making YouTube videos with each other constantly, to him being a toxic asshole. It's like day and night. Like there's something off with him. Something's gotta, he's got a hair up his ass somehow. And I don't know how, and I don't know why. But whatever's going on with him in his life doesn't give him the right to be a dick to his so-called brother and sister, his friends. So after I blocked him on YouTube, and after doing all the reminiscing and questioning what was going on with him, like I said, went to go talk to Don. Because he hadn't been involved, and I wanted his opinion on the situation. So I messaged him way before. I messaged him and sent him the same clip that I sent Stony before, before the conclusion ended with Stony. So it took him a little longer to get back to me, which I completely understand. Everybody's busy. You can't just stop what you're doing just to respond to somebody. So he finally responded to me, and he said, I'm going to say one thing. I'm like, okay. And he then said, there's no beef between me, you, and Joker. It's all between you and Stoney not getting along. You guys are both not technically in the right. So he's saying all parties are in the wrong somehow, in some way. And that he was just trying to keep his distance. Okay, at first I respected the fact that he wanted to keep his distance because he doesn't do good with conflict. Until my husband went to go check his friends list on PlayStation to discover that Don unfriended him. Didn't block him, just unfriended him. But here's the thing. He had Joker on his friends list all this time. All this time. And because now I contact you, you now decide to unfriend him? It just seems too suspicious to me. So I responded to him and I said, look, if the beef is between me and you, keep it between me and you. Don't take it out on Joker. No response. And then it said that he was typing, and then all of a sudden it stopped. So I waited quite a bit for him to respond back. I waited about an hour to 2 hours for a response. And no response. And it went from him trying to keep his distance to me thinking he's not trying to keep his distance. He's trying to run away from the problem. And I'm sorry, but in this situation, we're all grown. We're all adults. If we all can't sit down and have an adult conversation and handle it like adults, without name calling, without being mean to one another, and I'm saying that specifically on Stoney's side, because the second time around, even though he called me a clown lost in a circus again, I did not go after him and call him a furry or attack his persona at all. I didn't even call him out of his name. I was very respectful this time. I wasn't going to stoop to his level this time, because it was going to get me nowhere. At least I thought it was going to get me nowhere. Even being respectful and nice to him got me nowhere. I got the cold shoulder. Either way. So, at that point, I was like, you know what? It's not worth it. As much as it hurts for me to say, I can no longer be friends with these people, I can no longer keep them in my life, knowing that we had been friends for 7+ years, the way they were treating me was not worth my mental health or my sanity. It was not worth it. To continue on and continue the drama once more was not worth my mental state, my sanity, or worth my marriage. Period. My husband, my daughter, my boys, they are my number one priority. They come before anybody. Regardless if it's another friend or if it's another family member. I'm sorry, but my kids and my husband are my number one. Because without them, I'd be lost. So I wrote Don again. And this time, I didn't wait for a response. I blocked him. But even though I blocked him, as long as I sent a message first, then block him, he'll still see the message. Because I know, because Sony sent me one last message and then unfriended me. But I could still see the message even though we were not friends. I took the extra step to block him. Hello, Mike. So, from there, I told Don that you are a grown man, and you cannot continue to run away from problems just because you don't do well with conflict for the rest of your life. It is not going to get you anywhere, and majority of the time when you run away from your problems, you're going to lose a lot of people that way. How's it going today, Harley? It's going okay. Could be better. But, you know, I just gave him a piece of advice. I am from Sydney, Australia, and I am on holidays right now, and I am doing good today, and thanks. Oh, interesting. I didn't think that I had any people that were that far away. I live in the US, so currently it is 7 o'clock in the morning where I live. So, you know, just gave him a piece of advice and told him I wish him well. And that was it. That was the end of it. And I blocked him. And I am going to say this now. Even though they did me wrong, did me dirty, honestly, I have no ill will towards them. I wish them both the best in their life. And I wish that they have happiness. I wouldn't wish sadness or the worst on anybody, even my own enemy. I wouldn't do that. I'm just not like that. So, just for reference, I can't see all that. That's a lot. Can you try to look on your phone, babe, and see if you can see it in the chat? And
One second.
yeah, because that typed a lot, so it cut it off towards the end. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mike. So, no matter how bad they did me, how dirty they did me, I wish that nobody to go and harass them or bully them. Just, you know, leave them alone. Let them live their life. So, you know, they and me can move on from this and get closure and just live our lives and be happy. But other than that, let's move away from that and talk about other things that I have planned for myself, because I'm still on a mental health journey. I'm still on a health journey, a weight loss journey, a everything journey, pretty much at this point. So, as a kid, I was diagnosed with anxiety and depression, as well as being a slow learner. So, let's give you guys a few little updates about my health and how I'm doing.
So are you a friendly person currently? And I did get some haters before, and they wasn't not my own friends before, and they were like removed me and blocking me by the way, and I never do that as well.
Yes, I can be a very friendly person until someone pisses me off, to be honest. But you're more than welcome here. You seem like a nice person. Perfectly fine. Oh, okay, I maxed out on metal. So anybody new to my channel wouldn't know about this situation, but I had a really bad infection on my foot, which turned out to be a advanced case of athlete's foot. It is fully healed now. It doesn't hurt to walk on my foot, and I'm fine now. So that's a good. So now I can move forward with the other things that I want to work on, which I've been doing, but it's been a struggle. So I have been smoking cigarettes since I was 16 years old. Not on my own accord either. I got pressured into a lot of things. You know, a lot of things when you're a teenager. That there's pressure all over the place. Like, oh yeah, to look cool, and
Looking after me on here, and yes, I do play some Fortnite games, but I can't not play.
I did it again. I just sub and like on here. All done, Harley. Thank you. So I lost my train of thought again. I love it. I love when I do that. Did I? No, I did not discover the entire map. Ugh.
Thanks very much, Alex, for looking after me on here, and yes, I do play some Fortnite games, but I can't not play any Fortnite games, and I'm still on holiday right now.
Oh, okay. So what kind of stuff do you like to play in Fortnite? Like, what modes do you like to play? Just asking. Oh, there's a survivor. Where are you? Oh, you're in the tall building. I do have a PS5 and a new Xbox, and may I please add you on the Fortnite game? Yes or no, Harley? Well, no offense, Mike, but I tend to not give just, you know, I don't give my subscribers my PlayStation account. I'd rather just, you know,
Thank you.
keep it the way it is. You know, just past experiences. Not saying everybody's like that, but I just rather keep it to where, you know, my subscribers are watching me. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember what I was talking about. Because I kind of had a little brain fart. Oh yeah, I was talking about my horrible cigarette habit. Okay, I am sorry, Harley, and my bad. But I am still happy to be friends with everyone as well. I agree. I agree. So, like I was saying, I've been smoking cigarettes since I was 16. Very much pressured into the situation by an ex. And, you know, now that I'm older, much older, I regret the decision to ever start smoking. And believe me, it is not as easy to quit as you would think. Especially if you've been smoking for like, you know, 12, 13 years. It doesn't happen right away. So, I tried, Lord have mercy, I tried the freaking nicotine lodgings. those were disgusting. I could not handle them. And, you know, just saying this, I found out that there's more nicotine in those lodgings that they give you to help you quit than in a single cigarette. And at that point, I was scared and I spit it out because I thought my body was getting an overload of nicotine that it couldn't handle. And because of that, I'm scared to try patches. I'm scared to try the gum. So the only route that I can really go is quitting cold turkey. Like quitting altogether and just dealing with the withdrawals on my own. Where the hell is this last crystal? Excuse me? Here in a second, I'm going to start sounding like Vicky Guerrero. Oh, it's over there. Okay. So that is something that I'm still dealing with. Still trying to quit smoking. I know that I've told you guys this before. My husband also used to smoke cigarettes. He doesn't smoke cigarettes anymore. He does vape. But, I mean, he's going to work his way towards getting a vape that he can control the nicotine contents in the vape and then go from vaping to not doing anything at all. It's just, you know, giving him time. I understand that it's difficult to quit things cold turkey. Me and him both been through quitting stuff cold turkey in the past, and those things were easier than others. Also, the other thing is I have been trying to incorporate more healthy food. I've been trying to eat healthier. One other issue that I have is I have diverticulitis, which is something that affects your colon. I have pinholes in my colon, so when I eat things that I shouldn't be eating, like rice or greasy food, it can cause the holes or the pockets in my colon to get swollen and inflamed and cause me a mass amounts of pain. Unfortunately, I also found out that that's genetic. And the only person that I ever had was my grandma, and God bless her soul, she's no longer with me. She passed away 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years this October. So I really never had a good relationship with my mom. And I can't get her to tell me anything about my biological father, so I'm kind of stuck dealing with this on my own. You know, because if I was able to contact my biological father, I would have a better idea of how I can manage it and what causes it to keep flaring back up. But, you know, I'm doing the best I can right now. I'm going to schedule a doctor's appointment again with my doctor because there's some things that I'm concerned about. I'm thinking one of the things that I'm concerned about is not too serious. I think I'm going into post-menopause because I am getting old. And I think that's the reason why my periods have been a little off a lot these last couple of months. And I also want to talk to my doctor about how I can manage my diverticulitis better. I also kind of want to get in to see a psychiatrist, so I can find a way to handle my stress and my anxiety and my depression better, because it's really sad, because with my stress that I have, when I do have stress, because believe me, constantly I'm having, when you raise 4 kids, there's bound to be stress, especially when they're all teenagers. Yes, you heard that. All 4 of my kids are teenagers. That tells you guys how old I am. Oh, I got a whack-a-mole. I call it whack-a-mole instead of whack-a-troll. Oh. Dang it. You little shithead. So, I really need to get into a psychiatrist or a therapist or something to figure out how I can manage my stress better. Because when I get stressed out, that's when I find that I'm smoking more cigarettes. And if I can get to a place where I can manage my stress better by seeking professional help, which a lot of people will refuse professional help. Like, some of the reasons I hear are valid, and then some of them are just redonkulous. I think I'll be in a better place to be able to actually successfully quit. Because even though I've been on this quitting train for a while, there has been times where I've accidentally relapsed and went back to smoking cigarettes because I got so stressed out that that cigarette is the only thing that I know how to cope when I am stressed out. I tried stress balls. The shit doesn't work. It's not as relaxing for me as other people. And that's okay, because everybody's different. Some things that work for somebody else isn't going to work for another person. But even though, you know, I'm still haven't gotten to see a psychiatrist, because, you know, I gotta call and make an appointment. Or first I gotta see my actual doctor, and then I gotta get a referral to be able to be seen by a psychiatrist or therapist, whichever one. And then maybe if I, you know, get a proper diagnosis, because I'm going to be honest with you guys, these diagnoses that I speak of, except for the diverticulitis. The diverticulitis I actually got a solid diagnosis for, because my husband was with me when I went to the emergency room because I was complaining of pain in my lower back on the side that my colon's on. The things that I'm questioning is my depression and anxiety. I've never actually saw paperwork that says, oh, you're diagnosed with this. So now that I'm an adult, I want to kind of take it into my own hands and get a proper diagnosis. Now, the diagnosis of a slow learner and having a learning disability, that is something I know that I am definitely diagnosed with as well, because I was on an IEP all through school. Every grade, IEP, IEP, IEP. And that's normally something that is given to a child that has special needs, that's disabled, that needs, or someone that learns slower than others that needs extra help. And I was one of those kids that learned slower than others and needed extra help. So now that I've got, now I know 2 of my diagnoses are solid as a rock, but I'm not sure about the depression and anxiety. And I want to just be 100% sure. And if I do have depression and anxiety, great. I made the right choice to go see a therapist or a psychiatrist to get that proper diagnosis so I can get the medication that I need to get the help that I need. And then maybe once I'm put on some kind of medication, things will start to get better for me and it'll be easier for me to quit cigarettes. Because then I won't be depending on those cigarettes when I get stressed out or have anxiety or get sad. And really, those are the things that I really need to take care of. And that is why, if you've seen on my community tab, I made a post saying that I was coming back to YouTube August, and I decided, I wanted to live stream and get this conversation out of the way so we can move forward and enjoy the content of gaming that I want to upload. And I'm still going to come back, but like I said on that post, just know that uploads are going to be slow. I'm not going to be uploading a video every week. It's going to be a lot less than what I usually upload because I'm going to be going to all these massive appointments. Not only am I trying at this point to get myself in check, I'm also getting my kids to their appointments and getting them prepared and ready before they start school again. So it's a lot for one person. I mean, yes, my husband goes with me to their appointments. He helps me get them to their appointments. But he also works. So he isn't home a lot of the time. Like, he's home now because this is his off day. I offered to let him join in on the stream because I'm on his PlayStation in our bedroom. But he said, no, babe, it's fine. You can go ahead and do your live stream. I'll just be in the background. But, you can expect when I upload content, like videos for like For Honor or Fortnite, Narnica Blade Point, that my husband will be involved in some capacity. Now, as far as Fortnite content goes, the only reason why I decided to do Save the World is because I really wanted to play Save the World. Nothing else was calling to me at that point. You can ask my husband. I literally was like, I said I was going to retire Fortnite content for a little while because nothing really new is going on. Nothing interesting that catches my eye that I really want to talk about. And then I went into For Honor. I was like, do I really want to do For Honor though? Because I really want to play Save the World. So I was really having a battle with myself. And he just sitting there like, if he could, he probably was giving me the side eye. Because I couldn't make up my mind. And I might not finish this in time. Because I only have one more day left. This is what happens when I get to talking. Maybe I should have did something else. Maybe he was right. Maybe he was on to something. So, like I said, content will be slow, but it will get put out there, and you guys can expect my husband to be involved. The only way that I'm going to honestly do any kind of Fortnite content is if the season that we're in, because the season ends, what is it, August 2nd, I think? Because that's when the live event is. I'll probably do, a video for the live event, of course. But if if the new season that comes, if I don't like it, if I'm not like heavily involved in that season, then I'm not gonna do a video about it. I'm not gonna make content on something I am not enjoying. Because if I'm not enjoying it, you guys are gonna be able to tell that I'm not enjoying it, and you guys aren't gonna enjoy watching it. The new hero in For Honor, you guys can expect a video on her, or Tusa, I think that's how you pronounce her name. And hopefully, you know, I'm not booty cheeks with her right away, because, I mean, when Glad got her new hero skin, that was the first time that I actually committed to playing her for a while, because I suck with Glad, and I will admit it. I tend to be better with the like assassin characters like Shinobi, Orochi, PK, Shaman. I'm really good with Shaman. Shaman's like one of my main Vikings that I love to play. Now, as far as Narnica Blade Point goes, there isn't really any kind of like collabs in the game that sticks out to me right now. There was one for Persona. I could do a video on gameplay of the Persona outfits, but just know it's very late. So, those are the kind of videos you guys can look forward to coming, and those are right there. That's like 4 videos. So, if I manage to get 4 videos out a week, 4 videos out a month, that's something. But like I said, I'll do the best I can, and like I said, content may be a little slow, but I'll get something out. You know, and I don't really do a whole lot of GTA content, because, you know, it's hard for me to do some of the things in GTA by myself. And if you guys remember, I used to live stream GTA by myself all the time. In the beginning, it was me and my husband, but then eventually he kind of, I don't know, he kind of got burnt out, if that's the right words I'm using. Burnt out on making videos and live streaming.
No, it just my schedule got too.
Yeah, his schedule makes it really hard for him to actually live stream with me. Or, you know, it's easier for him to, like, if we was in For Honor, it's easy for us to make a For Honor video. Because, you know, technically we don't have to be recording to make a video, because PlayStation 5 automatically saves our gameplay. All we gotta do is be like, oh, save the last, you know, 15 minutes, or save the last 30 minutes. And to be honest, when I say this, I didn't even know about that feature. My husband showed me. I'm like, wait, this exists? So when we played with our friend and brother in For Honor the other day, I like got a buttload of clips. I'm like, yeah, I can make a whole lot of TikToks with these. Like, I still got clips on my phone that I still haven't uploaded, because there were so many. So, you know, besides, you know, probably about 3 videos a month, you guys can also expect shorts every day, because I do upload those every day, because those are very short and condensed and easy to make. But, you know, I don't mind doing hard work and making longer form videos. I mean, I did that with the first part of the Saints Row series that I started on my channel, which I will go back to that. And just like I'll go back to God Eater, I know, You guys all been waiting for me to go back to God Eater Resurrection. You guys been waiting for me to probably go back to Saints Row. There's just a lot going on right now. Because, you know, I like playing other games than just the most niche or popular games like Fortnite. And, you know, I like to dip my toes in a lot of other different games. Like, Borderlands 4 is coming out soon. Best believe me and my husband are getting that game. And best believe there will be videos on it. And not to mention, I found out, I watched, I think it was iFiremonkey's recent video on Fortnite. We're getting a Moxie skin from Borderlands in Fortnite. You know how long it's been since we had a Borderlands collab skin? Like, first we got Psycho Bandit, right? And his back bling is Claptrap, which I got Psycho Bandit. My husband's also got him. And then we got Mayhem. And, what's his name? You got the skin. The big guy that came with Mayhem.
Ruckus.
Yeah, Ruckus. Like, they're not exactly from Borderlands, but they are like inspiration Borderlands skins, if that makes any sense. You can also get those two skins and Save the World now. Did you know that? Ruckus and Mayhem, you can get them and Save the World now. But you gotta complete the storyline quest in order to get it. It's one of the event ones. You gotta wait for it to come back. Or you can play the current event that is in the game and get to Venture Zone 20, I believe. And then you'll get a recruitment ticket and you can recruit him. Ruckus.
It's getting too dangerous.
Yep, I'm getting pulled out because I took too long. It's okay. It's fine. I got everything out that I needed to say. But I know that I probably unloaded you guys with a lot. And I apologize for that. So, just know, content is coming. I'm slowly working out everything that I need to work out. And that's all I really have to say. So, I'll see you guys later. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I love you guys. Stay safe. Bye.